Thanks very much for joining us for the latest issue of 3 Healthcare Headlines in Tallahassee You Need to Know. Welcome back again. My name is Fraser Cobb. I'm the executive director of a number of medical associations here in the state of Florida, and been pleased to bring y'all these weekly updates of what's going on in Tallahassee as we track all the legislation. And want to once again hand it over to my co-host here, Joe, for an introduction and to get us started.
Thank you, Fraser. Again, I am Joe Duraskovich. We've had a lot of fun with this each week, kind of diving into some hot topics over there in Tallahassee, just to keep everybody informed across the state. You know, everybody can't be over there, so we're keeping an eye on everything and kind of bringing it to you each week right here in this video. So let's get going, Fraser. First topic this week: art of the deal. State leadership seeking solution to deliver social media protections. That's a big topic. What are we talking about this week?
It is. It's a major topic, especially for the Speaker of the House, Speaker Renner. It's his number one priority bill. They've run into a little bit of a hiccup, if you will, with the governor expressing some concerns around the constitutionality of some of those provisions, the ban on social media use by minors and whether that would infringe upon parental rights in the state as well. So they're trying to find a landing spot, I think, that delivers everybody a win here. Make sure that the governor can keep true to his belief in empowering parents here in the state to make some of these decisions, and for the speaker passing a bill that he is really passionate about, trying to protect our children. So it seems like they're working things out, and it's a test case in the process, because it looks like since a bill has already been sent to the governor that he doesn't think he can sign, the scuttlebutt inside politics here is it seems like he's going to veto House Bill 1, but there's a separate bill, House Bill 3, that deals with a similar topic that has not been passed by both chambers yet. So the thinking up on the Hill is, and the Senate kind of signaled this today with the Senate president announcements that she made. It seems like they're going to go ahead and let the governor veto House Bill 1. They're going to try and send him a new bill in the form of House Bill 3 that would address some of the concerns the governor has and still hopefully end session on time and get those social media protections that all parties are really seeking. So
that's a lot to happen. Not much time left, but obviously, you know, it's one of those things that everybody across the state knows this is an important topic, and it's something that, you know, they're looking to get done. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that and see if they can squeeze all that done in the last closing minutes of session this time. Moving on to the next topic, Fraser. Senate sends a strong message on workers' compensation. What are we talking about this week? I know we've brought this up quite a few times throughout the weeks here. What's the latest?
yep. So it's a marathon trying to get these bills through the process. So the latest this week, as we reported last week, that the bill had cleared all of its committees in both chambers. The Senate went ahead and advanced their version of the bill unanimously this week, 40 to 0 vote in support of the legislation, and no questions asked of the bill sponsor either. So Senator Bradley, the bill sponsor on that side, has done an amazing job educating her colleagues on the need for workers' comp reform and the need to pass her version of the bill, which would increase physician reimbursement in the system to 200% of Medicare. So currently reimbursement in the state is 110% of Medicare for non-surgery, 140% for surgery. Just to remind you of that. The House version is different. It's 150% of Medicare across the board. So the Senate bill sponsor, Senator Bradley, is very committed and feels that, you know, the time is for meaningful reform, and her colleagues sent a signal this week that they are in agreement with her. There are negotiations going on the House side to see where the House version is going to land. And certainly as a group representing physicians, we would like to see the needle moved as far as possible this session. So we hold out hope. I think this is going to be a last week kind of negotiation here on where we land. And we'll see if we can get something done that's meaningful. If not, then of course you'll have to have those conversations on whether some negotiated compromise is sufficient legislation enough to move forward with or not. I mean, the legislature hasn't addressed physician reimbursement in 20 years. So it's kind of one of those questions you ask: do you take the deal you can get now, or do you wait and continue to educate and press for a deal that's more meaningful, recognizing they may not come back on this issue for another 2 decades? So those are the questions that we're going to be asked internally over the next week or so. So I look forward to reporting back to everybody next week on how this all transpires.
Yeah, and that's something we've been talking about each week too, is, you know, the long game and you know the short term and everything. You need to get things done right away, but you also need to get them done the right way. So one of those things that we'll have to keep an eye on over the next week or so, and then in the long run as well. So we'll let everybody know the latest on that next week when we give our updates. Final topic for this week, Fraser: cancer bills bounce back and forth between chambers. Now, what's going on with those cancer bills?
Yes, there's two separate bills, and each chamber took action on a different bill and sent it to the other. So both are moving and probably going to get passed this year. Over on the Senate side, the Senate passed the Cancer Innovation Fund, which is something that has the First Lady's name on it as well. First Lady Casey DeSantis's Cancer Connect Collaborative is the name of it. So they have passed that and sending it over to the House for their consideration. It does create a council or a 6-member collaborative that's going to review grant applications and has $80 million in funding to go along with it, really to improve cancer care here in the state. So that's definitely another investment the legislature's making in access to healthcare here this session, which is terrific to see. Over on the House side, they sent the biomarker bill over to the Senate. Now they finally passed that totally out of that chamber. It would expand access to biomarker testing for cancer treatments in the Medicaid program. So they have sent that over to the Senate. All likelihood, both of those bills, like I said, are going to get passed and sent to the governor.
Hey, and that biomarker is something we talked about last week and gave a little update this week. We'll keep an eye on all those bills as we go forward. Those are the three topics we had this week. Now we've been kind of touching on it, week to week. The budget is still kind of the elephant in the room. What's going on with the budget right now, Fraser?
So they're getting close to agreement is what the word is. We've been watching it closely for a number of issues. Obviously, all the funding for Live Healthy needs to be, of course, included, and that's never in doubt. There is some language in there that we would like to see that would increase Medicaid reimbursement for adult Medicaid beneficiaries up to the Medicare level. Last year, the legislature went ahead and increased reimbursement for pediatric Medicaid beneficiaries up to Medicare. So we're hoping they go the next step and improve that reimbursement for adult beneficiaries as well. So that's in the governor's budget already. We're hoping it stays in the House and Senate budget as they finalize their negotiations. But another procedural thing for our members to know, there's a 72-hour cooling down period. So both chambers have to come to an agreement on the final budget, and then everybody has to sit on it for 72 hours. So the clock is running if they want to get out of town by next Friday when they're supposed to officially close legislative session. They want to get that budget done here at least by Tuesday or Monday end of day. So that 72-hour cooling down period won't mean that they have to extend their hotels for another night and stay until Saturday to get this thing done. So that is the one constitutional thing that they have to do every year is pass a budget. So everything else that's not acted on can just die on the vine, but they can't leave town until they get a budget done.
And although, we all know Tallahassee is beautiful this time of year, I'm sure they're all kind of ready to get back to their families and return home and kind of, get on to the next
Yep.
business that they have. Yeah.
And spring break is coming. So, they're going to want to get out of town in time for spring break as well.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, Fraser. Well, that was another fun recap this week, and a lot needs to happen here as we kind of close things down. But we'll keep an eye next week as we move forward, and we'll have the update for everybody once again.
Terrific. Thanks, Joe. It's been a pleasure.